If I were to say the word dreamcore to you, what are the first images that come to your head? What emotions do you feel? Are you safe? Are you alone? When we describe something as dreamy, what images usually come to mind? For me personally, they are bright, hazy, and often abstract, familiar but also foreign. It feels like a world you belong to, but also one you're just visiting. Dreamcore can often be associated with liminal spaces. A liminal space put into Google is defined as a transitional period, whether physical, emotional, or metaphorical, characterized by being in between or at a threshold. Tell me, when you look at these images, what do you feel? Happy? Sad? Lonely? Liminal spaces are the closest thing in real life we have to what we feel when inside a dream. A sense of longing, unfamiliar nostalgia. For me personally, my dreams always involve me trying to find my way back to my parents' house. No matter where I am or what I'm doing, I feel this pull to go back home. That's my safe space, my sanctuary. Often, I'm sidetracked by someone, or the place I thought I knew is a completely different place, or I awaken before I step through the door. However, a few times I do find myself back at my parents' house, and even though I have the house memorized, it never feels the way I expect it to. The lights are too bright, the colours are flat and bland. My parents are never there. The best way I can describe it is like an empty Unity engine room. It's like I walked into a parallel universe and the warmth I expect to be greeted with just isn't there anymore. But this video isn't about me. The reason I bring this subject to you is because recently a channel was brought to my attention by my good friend 8-Bit Ryan, who messaged me on Discord a link to this channel. The channel is called Amine. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I'm butchering that. A very interesting channel with a very unique but somewhat familiar style. I would consider Amine an artist over anything else. Not that the videos aren't amazing, but the soundtracks really sell to me the emotions they are trying to convey. Just listen to this song from their album Confessions on SoundCloud. The gentle piano, the sound of distant wind in the background. Something about this music reminds me of old Nintendo 64 games where the world is colourful but empty, like Mario 64 for example. If I were to describe what a dream would sound like, then I would definitely point to this album, which will be linked down below in the description. Looking at just the thumbnails of this video, I'm reminded of another series by Kane Pixels called People Still Live Here. I could do a whole other video on this series, but just by looking at the videos side by side, we can see a familiarity. Both using an old Windows XP kind of aesthetic with surreal graphics, landmarks separated by wide open spaces that make you feel both at peace but uncomfortable. I believe this aesthetic best matches the feeling a liminal space gives you. Today, I thought we could enjoy feeling uncomfortable together and explore the world Amine has set out for us. Let's get into it. The first video shares the same name as the album, Confession. The video starts with silhouettes walking from left to right. A red man with a cloud for a head descends from a bigger cloud and tells the audience he's going to be sharing the secrets of his soul before the words "praise me" appear on screen and the people disappear. The fact this man has a cloud for a head could be a literal metaphor for head in the clouds, which is a saying used when someone isn't paying attention, or is being unrealistic, or is simply daydreaming a lot.
And now, here are my confessions. The truths I've kept hidden, now brought to light. Have you ever felt your eyes wide open, witnessing the world as it truly is?
Can't say I have really, honestly.
What about your biggest fear? Spiders? Wild animals?
Those aren't wild animals, bro. Those are freaking straight up freaking demons.
New technology?
I don't know what kind of technology that is.
Clowns?
Oh, okay, that one's freaky.
Is there a fear faucet in your mind that keeps generating these thoughts?
Fear faucet. That's
When
a
the world
strange.
outside feels overwhelming, sometimes we just need to stay home, even in the summer. Imagine waking up in the morning, excited for the warmth of the sun, but the sun's not sunning.
Wow.
That Monday morning.
The sun is always sunning with me. As a redhead, I get burnt very, very easily.
Which makes us sad. Confession.
This video can be read many different ways, but this is my interpretation, which may be completely off. This is a person trying to justify their agoraphobia by bringing up irrational fears that, to them, run in their mind like a fear faucet, as they describe. I believe this is a newfound phobia, as they say the sun is not sunning, meaning it doesn't have the same effect on them like it used to, like the childlike innocence of play has been stripped of colour, which in hindsight makes sense to the theme of the other videos we will be viewing. This leads nicely onto the next video, called The Sun Is Not Sunning. The video is set in a dry wilderness, peppered with trees. The camera zooms into what feels like random areas, and red circles highlight a distant mountain and a tree. Repeating sentences are then scattered throughout the video.
You're here. You're too old for that. Home. Don't tell anyone. You're broken. Uncomfortable. I wish I could go there.
These are used sporadically throughout the video, and some are paired with censor blocks preventing us from seeing what they are covering, except for one shot which briefly shows whatever was there before the block covers it. I can't quite make out what it is, but it doesn't look like anything distinctive. Some people in the comments are saying that it's a corpse, but I personally can't see it. I believe the statements in this video are a mixture of things that were actually said, beliefs, and emotions that are felt. I don't think this video in itself is meant to make any sense, and will probably require context which later videos will provide to us. The next video is the first video done in a surreal and abstract video game format, similar to the style of People Still Live Here by Kane Pixels. The title of the video is Morse Code and translates to I'm underground and breathing. The video is in the first person, following a red man in a field before a weird and blown out image pops up with some strange writing that I can't quite make out. Another smaller picture of a man flashes in and out whilst the main character looks at the environment around them. The video ends shortly after looking up at the sky and seeing a giant eye looking back at them. The strange music that was playing before then ceases, and we are left with the sound of the footprints of the character. And the red man is nowhere to be seen. I get the idea that the theme of this series is about losing childlike innocence, and judging from the title of this video, it is very possible that these are the abstract memories of a dead person. I believe the red man resembles someone that hurt the main character, and this is why they no longer want to go outside, even during the summer. I think that these videos are abstract worlds created by a mind that is trying to forget something. They make everything colourful and abstract as possible to hide the truth of what happened to them. Very similar to what children do when suffering with abuse, so they can protect themselves. Aquafruit is the next video, which starts off with the same picture from the previous video at the bottom. The main character is holding flowers, and is on what looks like a flat bubble surrounded by green fields and a futuristic looking city in the distance. They jump down and wander around for a bit to the sound of bubbles. They try leaving the area but are stopped by the crops, which act like a boundary box, preventing them from going further. We then see a tree which is highlighted with a circle, and before they reach it, a glitching sound can be heard, and the video cuts. I will say it's hard to know if this has meaning behind it or if it's just random for the sake of being random. What I can say with certainty is that there is a recurring theme with trees. Something has happened to this character involving a tree, and I believe this is their mind's recreation of what is happening to make it easier to digest. I believe this is backed up by one of the tags in the description, Trauma Core. I think we will get more context as the videos continue. The next video is the epitome of a Dreamcore video. It is titled Find Home, and strangely resembles the theme of Dream I was talking about earlier when I'm trying to find my way back home. Okay, circling that freaking tree again. What's going on? Oh, so the tree is home. So you gotta find your way home. You got daisies. This is such a unique style. What even is this? What would you call this? I'd say like Windows 98 kind of vibes. Rainbow. We should go home. It's like a freaking light bulb in the sky. What does that say? I'm uncomfortable. What does that say? The weather is nice today. I see you. I'm uncomfortable. Home. We should go home. Oh, there's people like celebrating there. Like a family almost. Home sweet home, welcome back. Oh geez, there's a freaking noose hanging there. And there's like an eyeball in these trees here. And the video ends just before they get to the noose. After looking around for a little, we see a circle highlighting a distant house on a hill with the word home next to it. I believe this video itself represents the randomness that dreams can generate, but won't be questioned until after waking up. Strangely placed houses, flowers with eyes watching the character, light bulbs hanging from clouds. It feels like the main character gets sidetracked with flowers and rainbows momentarily, and we see blue people commenting on the weather. The character eventually is greeted by a family of silhouettes, celebrating their arrival back home, but it is cut short when looking at a noose dangling from a corner of the house, and the sounds of cheering are replaced with an engaged dial tone. The video ends when they walk over to the noose. I think this video is trying to show the normality of life after something traumatic has happened, and even though on a surface level everything looks colourful and happy, the main character still chooses the noose over the family, which suggests to me they can't live with something that's happened to them. Or maybe it could be the opposite of normal, that the world feels weird and abstract to the main character, and yet everyone around them seems oblivious to it. The next two videos share a similar kind of vibe. The first video, called Special Comfort Abuse, shows the camera zooming into a brightly lit moon in the night sky. In the top left hand corner is a noose with the number 0 inside of it, and in the bottom right is a camera icon with an eyeball in the middle. Nothing else happens in this video, but the video that was listed before this was an official audio of a song called Thoughts Across the Ocean, which shows a face next to the moon, and an arm lowering from the night sky with the words, "It's time," appearing over and over again. I think the official songs from the album give a little piece of the puzzle with their names and their cover art. I think in this one, the main character is playing with the idea of suicide or death. The number 0 in the noose could mean that they have not yet taken their life, and the flashing camera symbol in the bottom right could resemble a battery getting low. Maybe in this case they are just getting tired of being alive. Remember Me feels like a suicide note from the main character. It shows a setting sun, a metaphor that light eventually comes to darkness. The words, "Remember me, please come visit, one last time, and promise," are shown on the screen. To me, it's like there is a slither of hope left in the main character, and they are hoping to see someone one last time before making their decision. The next video is called Camping. I love this style though, man. I mean, it makes me feel very uncomfortable. And like the way the people are done in this, where they're like blue outlines, it reminds me of Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, where all the humans are like blue and pink, just like outlines. You know what I mean? Teddy, oh yeah. So there's a picnic going on. Mum says no. Is the eye that like he's always being watched or something like that? It's very loud. I'll just turn it down. So they're at the park, having a picnic. The trees are also around here. But this is one that feels less like it's still very got that kind of Windows 98 kind of 2000 style to it, but it's not as dreamlike, like weird, like houses misplaced, light bulbs in the sky, just weird things that shouldn't be there. This feels more like appropriate. Let's go play. Okay, it's loading. Smiley face. Playground. There's a lot of people around this playground, oh my goodness. I wish it lasted forever. Tired, sweetheart. Go to sleep, scared of bugs. Go to sleep, yeah. Right, I've got a weird idea of what's happening here. I mean, I'm getting the themes of abuse, obviously not just because of the titles, but because of like what's being said in the whole like album being called Confessions. But I'm getting the idea that this is a series about a child losing their innocence in a way. Like this is like the normal thing that they can almost remember. This is like having a picnic with their family, playing on a playground, just being a kid basically, and just enjoying the innocence of being a child. But somewhere along the line something happened in which maybe it stripped that innocence away. I don't know, maybe I've got it completely wrong, but that's how I'm interpreting it at the moment. I believe it is within this video that something potentially happened to the main character, or someone that they know. Notice the smiley face disappeared after interacting with the playground. It isn't replaced with another emoji, it's just gone. This could indicate it was at this moment where things changed for them. The video after this one is an official audio called Don't Tell Mum, and the cover photo for the song is of two smiley kids in a treehouse with the words, "The Treehouse Incident." To me, this feels like when you accidentally hurt your sibling and you tell them not to cry, but something about this one feels more sinister, and my mind is reeling with possibilities that I will share towards the end. The video, Something's Chasing Me, shows two blue kids being chased by a swing with a rainbow circle and mouths around the outside. A video of an eyeball looking around covers most of the screen, and when it returns to what we were previously looking at, the two blue kids are slightly distorted. This keeps happening until the kids are barely recognizable and the screen flashes to white. What's interesting about this is the perspective we are seeing this from. In other videos we see a hand outstretched, but in this one it's almost like it's grabbing at something, and we see another hand pointing at the swing. The words, "Something's chasing me. I can't observe it, but it can see me move. I'm scared," pop up on the screen. This confuses me as the perspective we are looking from doesn't appear to be being chased. Instead, we are watching two children being chased. So whose perspective are we watching from? Someone who sat back and watched it happen, or someone more sinister? The title of the next video is also in Morse code and translates to between life and death. We are in a pink void of a room with a checkerboard floor. There is a teddy bear and the top of a tree upside down on screen at all times. The tree says things like, "It's just a dream. When will you wake up? Will you remember me?" It actually says, "When you wake up, will you remember me?" But we're not going to say anything about that. There is your only hope in this life, which I double checked and it definitely does say that. You are dad's knocking and stay alert. The character climbs some colourful stairs and into a room that contains a play area similar to the camping video. In my opinion, I think this is showing that the young person we are experiencing this through has locked themselves in their room to avoid their father. Maybe something happened with his sibling and the dad is taking it out on the remaining son, and the only escape they have is within their dreams. This won't be too much of a stretch, as there have been themes of abuse throughout the videos. As a warning, the video New Slot has flashing imagery. This video has the same vibe as The Sun Is Not Sunning, but a lot more all over the place with a sense of panic. It starts with what feels like someone running away from something with the words, "They're getting closer" at the bottom. Then we see a person holding up a piece of paper with a buffering symbol, similar to the one on the camping video. We see an image of a house and the words, "This feels like home" appear at the bottom. Random images of a dry desert show up and the word "dream sequence" appears. There doesn't seem to be any real meaning behind this video, but I get the idea they are running away from something. Judging from the previous video, I could take a guess that it's their father they're running away from. This could also just be a repeating dream that the main character has of running away from home. Before we continue, I just want to say one thing. I'm not really here to solve what the story is trying to convey. I have my ideas, obviously, but I know they're probably not right. This is just my interpretation of what I think is happening. The main reason I'm making this video is to try and give it more attention to people who are a lot smarter than me and, give the author some limelight, some spotlight, I like hearing your guys' ideas on what you think the story is about. With that being said, please support the creator using the provided links below. Without videos like this, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And hey, if you're enjoying this video, why not leave a like rating? It doesn't hurt. With that being said, the next video is very juicy, so let's pay attention. It's called Apologize. Oh no. Okay, well, there's more characters. You made Sunny upset. Does Sunny represent the sun? Okay, and then we've got like an alarm clock, teddy bear. There's a bunch of and who is that? What's that? What's that on the left? I can't make out what that is. Is that the fear faucet thing? What is that at the bottom?
Oh no, you made Sunny feel upset about herself. You should never bring up her dad again.
Oh, her dad. Okay, well, what happened?
You should apologize to her right now, or we'll kick you out of the friend group, and you'll be a friendless loser.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, so we're definitely from the perspective of a child with this
but
one.
First you should bring her something to cheer her up.
Flowers. It feels all connected. What is that? What is being blanked out there? Bring the teddy bear. I thought that was my mouse for a second. Okay, it's like a weird futuristic kind of road. What the heck is that? Okay. Oh, flowers. There we go, the daisies. There's a light bulb as well. There's like recurring images in this. We got the light bulb, the eye, the teddy bear, the trees. I think that it's like something happened on a picnic on a playground. Something bad happened. So is this Sunny's house? Loading. Is that meant to represent the dad knocking? Okay, what is this? What are these on the... Are those like mushrooms? Oh, there she is. Or he. She. Sunny. Are those Venus flytraps? Probably not. I don't know. They look like mushrooms. Whoa! What is that? What happened? Sunny, what did you do?
What are you doing here? You hurted my feelings and I'll never forgive you.
Right. Why?
And trust me, you will regret what you've done.
What do you mean? What?
Oh? He's here.
Who's here? What is happening? Pretty crazy, right? This video pretty much has all the elements from past videos except for the playground and Red Man. We have a light bulb hanging from the top left of the screen with a rainbow on the outside. We have the teddy bear, the flowers, the eye, the weird creepy face that turned out to be a dialogue box. Apparently Sunny is upset at something the main character said about her dad, and they need to apologize as they will be kicked out of the friendship group. You can see the light bulb light up at moments before items are picked up, as if the character has had an idea, a light bulb moment. They pick up a teddy, some flowers and a picnic basket before entering Sunny's home. She is stood in a corner next to some long grass that the character enters, but a big centre bar covers up whatever is in there. I had a look just before the centre bar and I kind of got the idea of someone lying down in a coffin. I don't know, you guys would have to say what you can see, but that's the impression that I got. Honestly guys, I'm looking at this while editing it and I have no idea what the heck I was talking about. I don't know how I see a person in a... What am I talking about? We then hear the door open after Sunny saying he's here and someone steps in before a sound of crunching can be heard. The soundtrack then darkens and we hear horrible whispers as the character tries to find their way back to the beginning. The friends that were there now have weird, smiling, demonic faces. We hear screams and the video cuts out. Before I give my thoughts on this, I think I'm going to cover the latest video and try to put some things together from there. The title is in Morse code and translates to Somewhere on Venus. It starts with a picture of a sunflower before showing the Red Man playing a guitar on what looks like a fresh mound of dirt in front of a big, vibrant plant. Oddly enough, I actually put this image into ChatGPT and asked what plant it was, but they couldn't decipher it, and they said it's probably just a fictional scientific plant. So if you guys know what plant this is, let me know in the comments down below. In the top right is a smiling emoji, but after some bubbles come up, it's replaced with another emoji, putting their finger to their lips as if to silence us. The Red Man has a strange object floating beside him, which I thought looked like planet Earth, but then towards the end it kind of doesn't go spherical. It grows like a different kind of shape, like a face almost. So you're probably thinking, what does any of this mean? Good question, because I have no idea, but I'm going to try and piece it together right now. Now, what I'm about to say may come out as absolute horseshit, but this is just my interpretation, once again, of what I think happened. I believe the series is based around grief and dealing with the loss of a child. My first theory is that whilst out on a camping trip, two kids were playing in a treehouse. I believe one of these kids is represented as Sunny. Something tragic happened, leading to Sunny being gravely injured. Maybe they were pushed from the treehouse, maybe they slipped. It may have been the fault of the child we're seeing these videos from, it may have been a complete accident. In a state of panic and confusion, the kid throws a blue blanket over their body and buries her somewhere. However, I believe they were still alive when this happened. If we put all the Morse code together of the different videos, it spells out, I'm underground and breathing between life and death somewhere on Venus. This suggests to me they are buried underground, half dead, somewhere hot. I think the dry desert location in The Sun Is Not Sunning and New Slot is where they were probably buried, which is why they think they are on Venus, because Venus is one of the hottest planets in our solar system. The reason Sunny is visualized as having a blue cloak and a sunflower for a head is because this is what they were buried in, and maybe the kid being naive, thinking his sister was dead, put a sunflower on top of the mound, or some kind of flower. They then returned back to their mother and made up a story of them being chased by a monster of some kind so they don't get into trouble, not realizing the implications of what they have done. I believe the mother hung herself because she couldn't take the grief. Perhaps the video Remember Me was a suicide note from her. I also think we're looking from the mother's perspective in the video Find Home. If you remember the theory I had earlier about the world not seeming the same, maybe this is what it was. The world was turned upside down for the mother, and even though her remaining family was there, she turned to the noose because she couldn't hack the thought of living without another one of her sons, and maybe she blames herself, you know? The kid is then left with his father, who blames him for the loss of his wife and daughter. As a way of escaping, the main character locks themselves in their room and sleeps the guilt and pain away, eventually running away from home after being severely beaten up, that I believe was depicted in the Apologize video at the very end. Whatever happened to Sunny definitely started at the treehouse. The song Don't Tell Mom could have a number of meanings behind it, but the fact it's called Don't Tell Mom and not Don't Tell Your Mom suggests it's either the main character or someone close to the main character that caused the death of his sister. In the video I'm Underground and Breathing, the main character is being led by the same red man in the Confession video and Somewhere in Venus video. They definitely have a role to play in whatever happened to Sunny. The video The Sun Is Not Sunning could literally be referring to Sunny saying she isn't alive anymore. Like Sunny isn't sunnying anymore. I don't know, that's a bit of a long shot. We need to also think of the name of the first video in this series called Confession, which is literally just the man, the red man, confessing what he did in a very roundabout and cryptic way. More videos are most likely going to be released on this series, and we're literally probably dealing with half of the story right now, so trying to piece it together is a little bit hard because we don't have all the pieces. But I do think I'm on the right track, so I believe it is about a child passing away. I think there's themes of abuse. I'm not sure about the mother hanging themselves. That could be, I don't know what, but I just don't know where that noose came from, you know, why that noose was there in the first place, because I can't really imagine a child hanging themselves. I know that's such a morbid sentence to say out loud, but yeah, I just can't imagine it. Like, they would deal with grief in their own way. They'd be sad, but they wouldn't think about ending their life. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. Well, there we go, guys. That was my kind of little video essay / reaction on the Dreamcore / Amine, more specifically. Dreamcore is something that is does something very strange to me in terms of, like, it makes me feel uncomfortable, but like it does what a dream does in that sense, where it makes you uncomfortable but nostalgic at the same time. Like, something's missing, you can't quite put your finger on it. I thought I would switch things up a bit. Rather than just reacting to things. Let me know what you guys think of this style of video. Obviously it takes a little bit longer to do these kind of videos, but it feels like I'm actually putting effort into the videos. And if you're wondering who this little guy is here, this is Fen, and it was done by the very talented Nightmare, who I will link down below. Fen is kind of like the mascot of the channel now when I want to do videos like this or other stuff potentially. I think I don't know, he's cute, and that way I don't have to show my face as much. But yeah, there we go, guys. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like rating down below, subscribe, and yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want me to check out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.